Good morning, everybody. Whew. Haven't done a video in a little bit. You guys can see the phone right here in my window. Haven't done a Coffee Crockers in a couple days. Danielle and I have been just moving and grooving and doing our thing, and it just got to where we just didn't even realize we didn't do one. So you guys can tell from the videos that we've been doing a lot of work around here. We've been doing a lot of clearing and tractor work and all of that. And I mean, it's pretty much been sun up to sundown, and the place is looking great. Absolutely, we're in love with it, and it's unreal to think how it looked a couple months ago. Whenever we look over at the neighbors over here, they haven't touched it at all, and then we look at ours, like, holy cow, like, this is crazy. And clearly that's not knocking the people on this side. They just haven't done anything on their property since they bought it. But it's just the vision of it. Whenever we first came and looked at the property, I came and looked at it by myself. Danielle, I think, was actually hanging out with some friends doing brunch or something, and I remember texting and being like, hey, I gotta talk to you. We gotta buy this property now. Like, we gotta buy it now. And I know you're with your friends, but I'm gonna send you some pictures. We need to get this. We gotta jump on it. It's gonna go quick. And I remember sending pictures and stuff, and it was just straight woods, and Danielle being like, I guess I'll just have to take your word. I don't know. I'd love to come see it, and, but I'd have to take your word on it. So I think we came out the next day, and Danielle looked at it, and she walked in like 10 feet and was like, I can't even walk in this. It's so thick. It's so rough. I'm going to have to take your word if I don't want that little moth to fly on my coffee. I'm going to have to take your word, and if you think it's good, we'll do it. And I was like, I walked to the back. There's a fence in the back. It's not too hilly. Everything looks good. Looks like we can clear it and it'll be some good land. It's got a pond. Like, I really have a feeling about this. And you guys know that Jeremy from Paragon came out a while back, a couple weeks ago, something like that, and came and cleared this whole side over here. And then we got Outlaw to come back out and clear all the roots and everything. And I've been taking the tractor and cleaning off the top of the ground and making it, getting piles of mulch and all that up so we can get grass growing. And it's crazy. It looks really good, and I'm very, very happy. We have pretty good dirt. I think growing a garden here will be absolutely no problem whatsoever. Certain spots there are rocks, but you have to go fairly deep or to the middle of the property where the creek is, which we're not going to be growing any gardens there, so we're good. But having it all set up here and everything, I just love it. Absolutely love it. I'm excited for people to come out and see it that have been here before. You can actually drive in our driveway and park and not worry about running over stumps. I went through and I talked about it in the video, but I didn't show it or anything. The trails all the way around our fence line. Well, property line, we don't have a fence yet. To the back, we do have a fence in the back, down that fence line. And then I made some trails a while back for us to ride. But the tractor, the brush hog, it cuts too high. So it leaves stumps and little stobs. And so we had Outlaw. I got on my four-wheeler, and I rode through, and he followed me, and he cut it and everything. And then yesterday, I went and I got our zero turn, our lawnmower, the bad boy. I'll tell you this, that thing is a bad boy. That thing is tough and strong and a good working machine. We haven't used it in a year, and went over and cranked it on and started right up. And then we aired up the tires and everything. They were flat, been sitting for a long time. Aired them up. They do have a couple little holes in them, little leaks, because we run over stuff at the other property, Shooting Ranch. We ran over a bunch of I can't think right now, briar, and so got a bunch of thorn stuff in the tires. We were like, whatever, we're just trying to clear land. We can replace tires and blades later. So I aired them up. It stayed aired up all day. And I rode the lawnmower, the whole fence line, to clear it up even more. Did the trails. I even made new trails. That way Danielle and I can either ride them, or we can just walk. And it'll kind of be like... one of our favorite things to do is go to Colorado for my birthday. It just works out that it's for my birthday because it's in a perfect time where the weather is great up there. And we love to go kind of hike and walk trails. Well, now we have trails that we can walk. We can ride, we have some electric bikes. We can ride that through there. We have motor toys. We can ride the motor toys through. And we can actually walk our property without twisting our ankles and making it difficult. I mean, it was a daily thing to where it got bad. My ankles are torn up, and it's all gone now. And it all started with a vision. It was just straight woods. And when we first saw the property, and I saw it from the road, I just saw a vision of what it could be and what we could do. And then we got it cleared, and then Danielle started, because at that point, that was the first time she'd been on the property further. And then she started looking, and she's like, man, what if we did this? And the grain bin can go here, we can do a barn here, and the house can go here. And I'm like, yeah, that, absolutely. This is awesome. We're both seeing the vision. We're both on the same page, what we want. And some things we kind of thought, okay, maybe this here and that there. And then, Danielle be, what if this is here and there? And we went back and forth, and we found out the layout we like. And it all starts with a vision, with a dream. And it starts in your head because it doesn't exist in real life. But if you don't go do something, you don't get out and you don't go and do it, it just stays a dream. The vision stays a dream, and it doesn't become reality. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't go out and live the dream. They don't have that vision and take it to make it reality. And I know a lot of people right now, we have no idea the state of the earth, right? A lot of people are kind of freaking out over the eclipse right now. They're saying have 2 weeks worth of food, power might go out, have National Guard places, all these cops here and there, all this stuff. A lot of people think this could be the end of times, or a huge awakening for us, and things happen and all that. I'll just put it this way. If that happens, it happens. There ain't nothing anybody can do about it. Just hopefully everyone does great. If it doesn't happen, and after the eclipse and everything is still good and all of that, maybe that's a sign that we're still here and we're still able to do what we want, and we live in a great country, even though it may not be the best going right now. And that's not me talking politics and one president over the other or whatever. It's just not good in general. And so it is still, to me, the greatest country to live in, and the greatest country of all time. And we are back-to-back World War champs. But because of that, we can do whatever we want. We have the freedom to live the life that we want to an extent. And if a lot of people are fearing that something's going to happen on Monday, and nothing happens, maybe that's a big wake-up call to go live your life. Don't live in the fear of things. Just live the life that you want. And don't just dream about it. make it a reality. And that's literally the first step to making it happen. And you'll never live out the dream that you want. You'll never live the life you want. You'll never make that extra money if you don't go for the better job. You'll never, find your passion, your craft, your whatever it is. And if you stay still and don't move and don't do anything, that's the life you're going to live. And a lot of people are talkers. A lot of people talk about the things they want. A lot of people talk about the things that other people have that they want, and they're upset, and they get upset at other people because they have the things that they want. Well, those people out there are working hard. Those people out there are going after the dream. Those people out there are taking a risk. Those people out there are doing everything that you're not. So if you want something in life, and let's say the world doesn't end on Monday, let's use that as a sign to get out and go for what you want and have a vision. You should already have a vision. You've been sitting there thinking about stuff. You already have a vision. Get out there and go get it. And I'm a big believer too. You're never too old. I understand some people have health issues, maybe some type of handicap or whatever. To me, myself, and this is just my opinion, I don't believe in that. I really don't. Ever since I was 2-3 years old, grew up with the brother with the missing leg. And, his whole thing is, Jared's big thing that he always said was, I don't believe in disabilities. I believe in abilities. And that means he can go out there and get it and do what he wants. It's not a disability. It's go find your abilities. And that's a quote that has stuck with us, and Danielle and I talk about it often. And it's just, don't let something handicap you. Don't let something disable you. Go be able. Go do something. Even if I know some people are going to be upset. I can't help it. My health is bad. This is whatever. Well, what are you going to do? This is the way I see it. You're either going to sit in your house and be disabled or sick, or you can get out there and go live the life you want and still be sick. Still be disabled. In my eyes, I would rather be disabled and go live the life I want than just dream about it. And even if I'm on my deathbed, I'm probably still going to be thinking that way. And there's been a lot of things that, I don't know, that has happened to people, and things that I'll never go through. And I fully understand that, and I fully understand why people say these things. They'll never be able to do stuff. But in the end, and the reality is, if there's the will, there's the way. You just have to figure out a different way to do it than most people. And that makes the story even better. That makes the end result, getting what you want, even better, because you had the odds stacked against you. And it's the same thing if you're poor and you want to buy something, but you're poor. Okay, I've been poor a massive chunk of my life. And we were raised, if you want something, go work for it. And that was just something that we've known. And I've wanted a lot of things in my life, and I went and worked for it. And 9 times out of 10, I get what I want because I work for it and I make it happen. And it's not that I think I'm better than anybody or anything like that, because I know some people are like, oh, you just get what, they'll try to talk trash. No, I just do what most people won't. And that's get out and make it happen. And no matter what it is, make it happen. And I do think, this whole video, it's talking about your vision. We wanted something. We're making it happen. We're seeing it. There's nothing extra about Danielle and I over anybody that's watching. We're just human. And we just decided one day, we want this. We're going to make it happen. And I'm a big believer in that. So maybe, just maybe, some of you guys that are worried about the end of the world or stuff happening, and if nothing happens after this eclipse, take it as a sign to get out and start living life. Because if you don't live life now, what's the point in complaining? It's the same thing Danielle and I talk about all the time. You can be lazy or you can complain, but you can't be both at the same time. If you're lazy and you're complaining, shut up. That's just it. And Danielle will tell me that. I'll tell her that. We'll tell other people that. And it's just the most real you could be with someone. If you're complaining, don't be lazy. You can complain or you can be lazy, but don't do both. So get out there, have a vision, make it reality, and if we survive past the eclipse, take it as a sign to get your butt out of that chair and get up and go do something. Even if you're handicapped, even if you have health problems or whatever, you ain't gotta go gung-ho, but start doing something that you want and something that you think you'll enjoy and something that you have been envisioning for a while. Get out and start making the path towards that, because if you don't today, will you tomorrow? Will you the next day? Will you the next day? Probably not. You got to start today and get out and start moving and living the best life you possibly can. And again, doesn't matter if you're handicapped, sick, whatever, you can still live the best life possible that you possibly can. And if you have a vision, go for it. There you go, guys. Probably made some people upset with that, but sometimes you got to hear that, and sometimes you got to have a little motivation to get out. And there's nothing wrong with listening to somebody getting pumped up and go out and live the dream you want. I've done that for a long time. Hopefully this video helps somebody, and then hopefully that person can inspire somebody to go do it as well. You'd be very surprised how many people are watching your moves, even if they don't say anything. And when you make some awesome moves, they notice. So get out there, live your life, because tomorrow's not promised, and what's the point in sitting around? So get out there, live your life. Appreciate you guys. Today it's going to be an awesome day.